All right, today we're settling a debate that, well, literally keeps millions of people up at night. Who is YouTube's ultimate sleep guru? We're about to find out, putting the biggest names head-to-head in a showdown backed by some serious data.
You know the feeling, right? You type how to sleep better into YouTube, and bam, you're hit with this tidal wave of protocols, hacks, and super scary warnings. With so much conflicting advice, it's easy to feel even more anxious than you were before. So whose advice is actually helping people? Who should you trust?
So we've narrowed it down to 5 heavyweights in the sleep game. First, you've got Andrew Huberman, the guy who goes deep into the neuroscience. Then there's Matthew Walker, the best-selling author and expert. We also have BC Marks, a total master of artistic storytelling. Bryan Johnson, the extreme biohacker. And of course, Dr. Mike, the accessible, trusted MD that everyone knows. Now, here's where we did things a little differently. Instead of just talking about their advice, we went a step further. We actually analyzed thousands and thousands of their comments to see what real viewers, people just like you, are actually saying, asking, and feeling. So this isn't just about the content, it's about its real-world impact. Okay, first up, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What are the core sleep hacks these experts are actually telling you to do? You know, what's really fascinating here is just how much they all agree. A consistent schedule? Check. Managing your environment? Absolutely. Huberman is huge on getting that morning and sunset light to set your internal clock. Walker and Marks get super precise with temperature, telling you to aim for a cool 18-point-something degrees Celsius. And on caffeine, the verdict is unanimous. Drink it early or just skip it altogether. Having great advice is one thing, but how you deliver it is everything. So for round 2, let's break down their different styles and see how each one builds trust with their audience. So on one end of the spectrum, you've got Andrew Huberman. His whole thing is going deep, explaining the why, the actual biological mechanisms behind every single tip. It's dense, it's scientific, and it's for people who really want to know how things work. But then, on the complete other end, you have BC Marks. He takes that same science and turns it into this beautiful, calming story with these incredible animations. He makes the complex feel simple, almost magical. Then you have these 2 very different flavors of authority. Matthew Walker is the established expert. He calmly lays out the science and often focuses on the pretty scary health risks of bad sleep. Bryan Johnson's authority, though, it comes from doing. He is the ultimate human guinea pig, sharing his personal, super disciplined routine for achieving what he calls perfect sleep. And finally, we have Dr. Mike. His style is just so direct and practical, no frills. He gives you a quick checklist of proven tips, and he delivers it with that reassuring energy of a family doctor who honestly just wants you to feel better tonight. Okay, so we've seen the advice, we've seen the styles, but now for the main event. What did you, the viewers, actually have to say about all this? This is where the data really tells the story. And wow, this sentiment data is super revealing. Look at this. BC Marks and Dr. Mike are clear winners, with over half their comments being positive. It really seems like their accessible, engaging, and less intimidating styles connect the most, making people feel hopeful and ready to take action. But here's the single biggest thing we found across every single video. People are desperate for advice that fits their messy, actual lives. The comments are full of questions like, this is great, but how do I do this as a nurse on the night shift? Or what about when you have a newborn? How can I be consistent when my schedule is always changing? And that's what makes Huberman's comment section so interesting. Check this out. Nearly a third of all his comments are questions. His deep dive approach doesn't just give answers, it sparks this intense curiosity. His viewers feel empowered to become their own little sleep scientists. But hey, it wasn't all positive. The data also showed some common frustrations. A lot of viewers feel the advice is just too impractical, too rigid, or even too expensive. This constant chase for perfect sleep can actually make people more anxious. And Matthew Walker's focus on the scary consequences of bad sleep, yeah, a lot of people said that was pretty fear-inducing. But even with those critiques, the positive feedback was just massive. The one thing all the compliments had in common was this real gratitude for clear, actionable, science-backed advice. People aren't looking for silly quick fixes. They want credible information that feels genuinely life-changing. So, we've looked at the hacks, the styles, and what all of you are saying in the comments. I think it's time. Let's put it all together for the final ranking. Who is YouTube's definitive sleep guru? Let's count it down, kicking things off at number 5. Is Bryan Johnson.
Look, his discipline is inspiring, there's no doubt about it. But his protocols are just way too niche and impractical for most people. The data also showed he had super low engagement with his audience. Only about 1% of comments got any kind of interaction.
All right, in the number 4 spot we have
Dr. Mike. His video is a fantastic, accessible starting point for anyone. But the comments did reveal a high level of frustration, over 22% negative sentiment. It suggests that while his tips are a great first step, they might not be enough to solve the deeper, more complex sleep problems a lot of his viewers have. Landing right in the middle at number 3 is Matthew Walker. Honestly, nobody is better at explaining why sleep is so critical. He is the authority. But that focus on risk comes with a price. His video had the highest negative score in our whole analysis, at over 26%, because many viewers found his tone made them feel more anxious instead of empowered.
And our runner-up, taking the number 2 spot is
BC Marks. With the highest positive sentiment of the entire group, his video is just a masterpiece of storytelling. He makes learning about sleep feel like an artistic experience. His only tiny weakness? Some viewers were left wanting just a little more scientific depth, maybe a few more citations to back up that beautiful narrative.
And that leaves our number 1 YouTube sleep guru based on a combination of amazing content and real audience impact. Andrew Huberman. He just strikes that perfect balance. He gives you the deep, complex science, and this is the crucial part, he translates it into actionable tools you can actually use. His content doesn't just give you a list of rules. It gives you a framework to experiment, understand your own body, and truly optimize your sleep. So, after all that, what's the big takeaway? The best health advice isn't just about what to do, it's about how that advice makes you feel. The creators who are really winning are the ones who connect deep science with practical, flexible tools that empower their audience and actually reduce anxiety instead of creating more of it. If you want to geek out on all the data, see more of the charts, and just get a much deeper analysis of what viewers are saying, you can read our complete report over on the Shono-Insights blog. Thanks so much for watching.